Hello, you got Mr. Smith, point five of Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and in this video, I really want to give you something that I feel is so basic so you can just go down the journey with us. If you're new to us, new to our channel, and this video is sponsored by the Royalty Movement, which is an economic empowerment movement that have helped people all across the nation better their credit, increase their cash flow, get out of debt, make money from home, make money from their phone, and also learn investing. So some of this information I'm about to share may be preaching to the choir, may be so basic, so new, so broken down in a simple form that you might already know this stuff, and hopefully you share this with somebody else who you feel may benefit. If you're a part of the Royalty Movement and this is new to you, then hopefully you can go down the journey as we expound on more things that can help you grow your money. Because one thing about increasing your cash flow in the ways that we teach, which is income shifting, the W-4, which is bettering your credit, paying less on interest, which is paying down debt so you have more cash flow, which is all of those things, including but not limited to making extra money. We want that extra cash flow to make you more money. And if we would have adopted it and understand the simplicity of it sooner, a lot more things could have taken place on a financial scale for us. So we really want to make it really simple. And the Queen, she knows how heavy I've been diving into investment education because, I'm kind of addicted to it because I'm really on a mission now. But she's like, okay, let's slow it down and make it really simple for the person who may be new to the Royalty Movement, new to the channel, new to investing, scared of it, just want to save money, make money, things of that nature. I really want to make it super, super simple as we go down the pathway to bigger and better. So stick around to the end. This is so simple. You can share this with your kids, your children. It's easy to interpret and then dissect it. But not only am I going to talk about investing from a stock standpoint, I'm also going to introduce the simple or the basics of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency because it's something we cannot ignore and cannot avoid. And if we do not really pay attention to what's taking place, we can get left behind in terms of the way things are going. So do not brush off certain new terminology just because it's new to you, because the world is moving at a rapid speed and you got to be moving right along with it. Otherwise, you get left in the dust. And when it's time for you to retire, then you don't really have anything to fall back on because you've been living off of old ideologies that are still being taught to this day. There's a lot of old ideologies that are still being taught to this day. And I hate to say it, when some people reach retirement age, 60, 65, they're not going to even know what happened to them because they were living based off of old things that people were telling them. And we're living in a new world, a new day and age that's pretty much taken over by technology, by the new inventions and, crypto, blockchain, all of those things. And if we don't understand it, it's either get right or get left. You can get on the right side of what's happening or get left behind. So at least have an understanding of it, and hopefully this can start your understanding journey, especially if you're a part of the Royalty Movement already. I know many of you, have been just looking at certain things to help you better your finances, better your personal scenario, better your credit, but you might not have really dove in to getting returns on your investment, putting money in, making that money multiply, no matter how much money or how small amount of money that you have. It's not limited to that. You can start investing with what I'm about to show you with as little as $1. So bare minimum, you should be investing something on a consistent basis, whether that's daily, weekly, monthly. You definitely want to be investing no less than monthly. So hopefully, you're ready. And if you're new to us and you're not a part of the Royalty Movement, basically the Royalty Movement is everything I stated. It's an economic empowerment movement. And we just want to help people, no matter where they are, get an understanding of taking full control of their finances and having personal financial success. Shout out to all of the new members and anybody who's been rocking with us for any amount of time. We salute, we applaud you. Nothing but love and respect. So with that being said, let's dive in. Now, I really wanted to make it really simple, and I saw this example some time ago. I actually did a presentation to some high schoolers. Well, I think I shared it with some high schoolers, and basically it's talking about my first stock. So this is how basic this is, but it at least will give you some terminology. Plus, I'll share some of my insight that I feel can be of benefit to you. But this presentation came directly from Cash App, and you can find this at cash.app/stocks. You can find it right there. And it's a simple story, but it just breaks down stocks for the person who's new to investing or hasn't invested ever before. So I just wanted to use this. And the reason why I use Cash App is because Cash App is something that many people are familiar with by now. You're probably using it. Your kids are probably using it, depending on how old they are. And because of it, I don't want you to miss the power in something that's so readily available, and how that readily available thing that's almost a household name now can produce wealth. Now on Cash App, it's more than about sending a transaction. It used to be just that, but now they're kicking into a new door of helping you grow your money via investing, as well as tapping into Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, and that can really change the game if you understand it. Now, this is not to throw the brokerage accounts out of the window that are already reputable and already exist. But at the same time, this is not to doubt the power of what Cash App can potentially grow into, because it is on the new end of how readily available investing has become. At one point, it used to be a little harder, and I'll dive into that shortly. But now, it's so easy to invest. You can invest as easy as you can send a text message. If you can send a text message, you can literally be investing. Before I did this training, I threw some investment to something that I'm going to mention later that may be worth looking into or grabbing. And it was just as simple as sending a text message. That's how easy it is to invest. So do not be overwhelmed. A kid can do it. Literally, a kid can do it. That being said, my first stock, let's proceed. All right, now, I'm just going to read this verbatim and just kind of highlight certain things, or, elaborate based on my perspective on certain things. And hopefully it doesn't bore you. But, like I said, it's very kiddie, but it's so simple, and I want you to just go down the journey with us as we share education of all sorts, whether that's cash flow, debt elimination, credit, investing, cryptocurrencies, the whole 9 yards. That's what this is going to be all about. We just want to empower and put you in a position to grow your wealth. Now, as it states, investing, it sounds hard, but it's a relatively simple concept that helps people go to college, retire, or build a nest egg. When you put money in to try and get more money back, that's investing. What can you invest in? Businesses, land, trading cards, gyms, time machines, almost anything. So it's basically you putting your money somewhere and you want your money to make more money. Pause. If we're putting our money in the banks solely, that money is not growing into more money. It's just sitting there. In fact, if it's not earning money, it's actually losing money when you factor in inflation, which is the cost of goods and services and things going up, but money not growing to outpace inflation. And when you think about that, it almost doesn't make sense to just put your money in the banks. If you just put it in the banks or in the saving account, then you're losing money. You're losing value on that dollar by default. And the banks, they know that most people don't know that. So we've been sold the idea that our money should be put inside of banks. And what they know is, as soon as you put that money in there, we're going to put that money to work, because they know money is losing value. So they want their money invested and making money, but they're using our money if we just leave it in the bank. So just understand that investing is the effort to make your money grow into more money, which is what the banks do. And this is what we encourage you to do if you're not already. Let's proceed. Investing is often done through stocks, sometimes called shares. Stocks are just small pieces of a business that add up to make one business. If a business issues 100 shares worth $1 each, that business is worth $100. So basically, they took $1, multiplied it times 100. That business is worth $100. That's its market capitalization, a fancy way of saying what the market thinks its value is. And that math can be done across the board. So if a stock that's worth $10 issues out 1,000 shares, you take that 10, multiply it times 1,000, then the business is worth $10,000. Now, when you're dealing with stocks, the numbers are usually a lot greater. So most of the times, it may be a stock that costs $10, but they have 1 million shares available, which means that they're saying that the company is worth $10 million. So that's just a simple way to look at it. But by owning some shares or even partial shares, you're taking ownership in the growth of the company, the potential of the company, if you believe it, if you understand it. And now as the company valuations or market capitalization grows in value, so does your money. So now it's almost like the companies work for you, because one of the things that they have to attempt to do is produce a profit for their shareholders. So hopefully you're investing in a company that you believe in, so they're not doing anything, anything just to produce a profit. But hey, to each his own. It's a non-emotional thing. It's just a way for you to try to grow your money through the systems that are given to us in order to position us to build wealth and leave a legacy. Because you don't want to just leave money. You want to leave some assets. You want to leave something that has the potential to grow, that can also be passed down, some ownership, and that's what stocks allow you to do at an easy scale. You may not own, you might not be the person that'll grow and build some type of company like an Apple or Amazon or a Tesla or AT&T or Square or Cash App. But if you have ownership in it, you can participate in the rates of return that they're able to get, or some of them, that is. That makes buying a stock a lot like buying an entire business. Kind of what I was just saying, which is why you should only invest in what you know, as well as a cat knows cardboard boxes. So they're incorporating some humor, but it's important to invest in what you know and believe in, not from an emotional standpoint, but if you know the future is heading in a particular direction. For example, a lot of people know that vehicles are going EV. Electric vehicles we're just on the forefront of electric vehicles. So if you believe in it and you understand it, then it may be a good idea to invest in it from a long-term standpoint. If you believe in crypto, then it may be, interesting, or it may be worth investing in vehicles that will move in the direction that crypto moves. If you believe in certain companies, then it may be worth it. So you want to know it, believe in it, and understand it like a cat knows cardboard boxes. All right, maybe you're a time machine expert. Put your knowledge to work and invest in a business that makes the best time machines. Stocks are bought and sold on stock exchanges. They used to be physical places full of shouty people, but now they're mostly digital places full of computery people. So like I said, it used to be a lot more difficult. You had to go to physical locations in order to invest and grow your money. It was real speculative. It wasn't as easy as it is to send a text message. But it's that easy. So if you're the type of person who's not investing due to being terrified of it, trust me, we live in a day and age that now it's a lot easier to do things that once used to be hard. You know how hard it used to be to travel from California to Florida? You know what I mean? Like, it used to be difficult. But now we got cars, we got planes, there's different things that allow you to get there a lot quicker. So we got to take advantage of what's available to us, because now you can hit goals a lot sooner than once before. So what else makes a great investor? Well, a few things. Patience, and then we mentioned lots of patience. So basically, they're speaking to the individual who is a long-term investor, because statistically, a person who puts their money in and just continue to invest on a regular basis, they're more likely to see a guaranteed rate of return if you think about it from a standpoint of 5 years, 10 years, because companies tend to grow, especially if it's a company and you can tell, or you feel that the company is heading in the right direction. So you will want to do your due diligence and understand, the potential that it has. But long-term investment is usually a great thing and usually always beneficial if you're thinking long-term. Not get rich quick, because that's not what this is. This is put your money in because you believe in it, you've done some homework, and keep putting money in to grow your worth in that company or your ownership in that company. So the more that you own, when the rate of return grows, so does your money. So you got to understand the long-term aspect of it, and patience is going to be key. Now, we know it's a lot of people who still make money in a fast way, whether they're trading, day trading, swing trading, options, things of that nature. This is just for the basic individual to understand. So if you really want to keep it simple so you can really understand it. All right. But I always keep in mind that investing is risky. Stocks go up and down, which is why it's often smart to stay in the boat when waters get choppy. So basically they're saying a lot of times when the stocks go down, people get scared or nervous or feel as though, I lost some money. Let me sell before I lose it all. If you vetted the company, you know it's a company that's going to be around for some time. And of course you never know. But you know, if you think about a solid company, you know, like a Facebook or like, you know, certain social media platforms, Google, Amazon, Square, the company that owns Cash App. If you think about it, it's not like they're going to be gone because there's so many people who use it and utilize it and value it. And our perception of a company is what gives it its value anyway. That's a whole other conversation. Our perception of what something is worth, even money, even currency, is what gives it its value. So if it's enough people who are already rocking with it, then it's a good chance it's going to be around. That said, if the waters get choppy, you don't want to just sell because the money started or the stock started decreasing in value. In fact, it may be a good idea to buy more because now it's like you got that item at a discount. A lot of times when people see a good deal at a store, they recognize it. When it's Black Friday, they recognize it. They're like, hold on, this TV normally costs this, but I'm going to buy it at this. These shoes normally cost this, but I'm going to get it at this. That's at a discount. This outfit normally costs this, but now I'm going to buy it at a discount, and you get excited about it. I want you to get that same excitement, keep that same energy when it comes to stocks. If you see that the stock has gone down, it might be a good chance to buy more because now you're getting that company at a discount. So when it does rise back to where it was or beyond, you made even more money because you didn't fall victim to panic selling, and that's what it's often called. Risk is a factor in any investment, not just in stocks. That's why you should only invest with money that you can afford to lose or see devoured by the gators. And they're just letting you know, hey, you can lose money. No guarantees. They just want to prep you so that you're not caught off guard because it can be risky. However, based on the things that I've said, you should know that, you know, it's great potential when the market goes down. However, at the same time, you want to invest with money that you can stand to lose, you won't miss. You don't want to invest with your rent money and rent is due next week. That's not how that works. You don't want to do that. You want to make sure you can stand to lose the money so that way as it fluctuates, you're not nervous, stressed, depressed about it, because if you just give it some time, be patient, it'll likely go up. It's a good idea to spread your investments across different companies and sectors. This is called diversification, and it's a great way to help reduce risk. Basically, don't put all your eggs in one basket, because if you do, they can all get crushed unless you believe in it that much, because there's certain people who have put a lot of money in one basket, and their money has skyrocketed and made them very wealthy. So you got to interpret what your belief is about whatever it is that you're investing in. And then if you feel that good about it, go all in. But diversification is a great strategy that you want to employ, because otherwise it could be considered to be gambling. And I don't want you to get in that mindset. I just want you to know if you've heard certain things, then it does exist and I'm aware of it. But diversification helps mitigate, lower the risk. If you've ever felt like you could be a great investor, now's your chance. Though it could be years until you know for sure, unless you have a time machine. So they're being funny, but it's always a good time to start investing. And then they basically said, if you're ready to start investing, Cash App is the simplest way to start investing in your favorite companies. Just download the Cash App. And if you need access to the Cash App, and if you don't already have it, let me know. I'll try to link it below so you can get access to it. That way, if you get started, you'll get a free $5 that you can use to invest. You know, you can take the $5 and spend it, but I'd rather you take that $5 and buy some partial shares or something. So if you don't already have it, there should be a link available below so you can get access to the Cash App and take that $5 and grow it. It'll be a great thing to see that 5 turn into a 10 and 100 or 1,000, and it all started from a free video if you don't already have Cash App. But it's easy to invest, and that's very simple, but we're taking you somewhere. So stay plugged into the content that we produce and bring here, because it's going to be all personal finance related. We're going to cover sectors from debt elimination, cash flow increasing, making money from home, crypto, as well as just knowledge that we feel that's applicable and can reach any demographic. Now, I want to transition, and hopefully that was helpful if you're new to investing. And of course, if you've been investing, then, you know, this preach to the choir. You may share this with some young people that you love and your family that you want to get a understanding. Or you may visit cash.app/stocks, and you may do this same spiel to them so they can get an understanding of what stocks is. And kind of make it fun. But I want to transition to what is already in the present. I will say the future, but it's already in the present, and that's Bitcoin. And A lot of people are honoring Bitcoin as being like gold, digital gold. It actually passed the valuation of gold. I got my perspectives on gold, and I don't want to employ my perspective on you. Yeah, it has its value, but the time where people are going to be going to gold in order to use it as a form of currency, I don't see that happening. So it may be good if you want to store some value, as long as you feel it's worth at least more than the dollar that you pay to own it, you know, so it can have value that way. But crypto is kind of changing the game due to certain things, but we'll talk more about that as time progresses. So my first Bitcoin, just like we had my first stock, let's do the same thing about my first Bitcoin. I'm going to read this one more so verbatim and not do too much talking, just so you can get a brief understanding of it. And basically, Bitcoin is a part of the present, not even a thing of the future. It's here. So if you're interested in this arena, now's a good time to start learning it, studying it, paying attention to it, getting involved in it, putting your money in certain areas. More than just Bitcoin, it's tons of crypto that are making people money, but you want to at least get an understanding of it. My first Bitcoin and the legend of Satoshi Nakamoto, who was said to be, well, I'll just read it because it's right here. No one knows who Satoshi Nakamoto is, but he, she, or they had a mission or a vision for a new kind of currency in 2008. This new currency or cryptocurrency would not be centrally controlled by any one business or government. See, currently our money is centrally controlled, but crypto isn't due to how it's set up. Let's proceed. They called it Bitcoin, and it was a radically new way to transact and store value all around the world. Bitcoin holds its value because there's a limited amount out there, kind of like a nugget of gold or silver. Powerful computer networks created each unique Bitcoin by using very complex math. This is called mining. So crypto, if you can get an understanding of what the internet is, you can't see it, you can't touch it, but you experience it and use it because you know that it's something out there technologically that's making things click, that allows our phones to communicate with each other, our laptops to communicate with each other, you to be able to see me to be able to see you if we're on some type of virtual call or video. So you understand that it exists. So it's almost like what the internet is to websites and platforms and social media. That's what blockchain is to the cryptocurrency world. So in order for blockchain or crypto to exist, it has to have something to sit on, something to rest on, something that even allows it to exist in a currency form, and that's what blockchain is. So it's similar to the internet, not the internet, because it's harder to crack. It took mining and math and coding on another level to even exist. So hopefully that's not too confusing, but that's what allows it to be more protected and not centrally controlled due to the coding and the mining that took place in order for Bitcoin to exist. A new kind of database, the blockchain, validates that each Bitcoin exists and confirms its rightful owner. So the blockchain allows you to know what exists, and the coding attached to it lets you know who owns it. It doesn't see your name and information like that, but you can see the transactions on the blockchain. But how do you even get Bitcoin? Well, you buy it from specialized exchanges that have it in stock. Similar to gas prices, Bitcoin prices can change a lot over time as supply and demand goes up and down. So the more people are interested in Bitcoin, the higher the stocks go up. And Bitcoin is currently, I want to sell 62,000. 62,000 per coin. Now you can buy partial shares, and as it goes, because some speculators say that Bitcoin will go to 1 million. Who knows? But you can buy partial shares and see it grow. But supply and demand is what drives it. So if more people are interested in it, the more it goes up. If some negative news happens, all right, it might drop for a second, then it may rally back up. So it's similar to stocks, but it's a lot more speculative. It moves up and down a lot more due to it being just a new industry altogether. But where do you even keep all of your Bitcoins? Some choose to store it in a computer or even in the cloud. Regardless of where you keep it, your Bitcoin is pretty valuable, so make sure to keep it safe. Over the years, the price of Bitcoin has gone up a lot. However, you can own as small of a slice as you want. Pretty much what I was saying, you don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin. You don't have to buy a whole, it's a ton of different cryptos out there. Ethereum, Litecoin, those are the main ones, and several different other ones. But you don't have to own a whole coin in order to benefit from the percentage of growth that it experienced. So if I have $100 in Bitcoin and Bitcoin prices doubled, then my $100 just doubled. So I still benefited from the 100% rate of return, even though I only had $100 in. Now, if a person who owned a whole Bitcoin and is at 60,000 and their price doubled to 120,000, then their price doubled, but of course they made more money because they turned 60,000 into 120,000. I turned $100 into $200. So the percentage allows you to grow even if you don't own a full share. That's a lot to imagine, isn't it? One thing is clear though. Satoshi's vision is having an empire all around the world. And that's pretty much as simple as this gets. It says, ready to buy your first Bitcoin? Cash App is already the easiest way to send and receive money with your family and friends. We made it just as easy to buy and sell Bitcoin straight from your Cash App balance. So you can buy and sell Bitcoin just like you can stock, just as easy as sending a text message. And right now on Cash App, you can only buy Bitcoin. They're not open to the other cryptos. If you're interested in some other cryptos, then I highly recommend something like a Coinbase. Coinbase is the initial app or the main app that allows for people to buy certain cryptos, and they don't even have all of them. They just take the cream of the crop and allow people to invest in the ones that they decide to put on their platform. And I say the cream of the crop, but just some of the main popular ones. They allow people to put it on there and invest using the Coinbase platform, and I try to link that down below so you can get access to it. I believe you get some perks if you use the Coinbase app. There are a ton of other exchanges that allow you to invest in cryptocurrencies like Kraken. I'll just stop right there. But just get familiar with it because it is a time of the present, not even the future. And of course, this may be preaching to the choir, but I really want people in the royalty movement and beyond, and people who are new to it, to get a simple exposure to it as we transition and add more terminology to the table to help you take your money from where it is now to where you want it to go. Now, I will say this, as homework, and this merges the two. You see, we talked about stocks, we talked about crypto. Now, what just happened today is a merger of the two. What happened is the platform that I just said you can buy Bitcoin from that I'll link below is called Coinbase. Well, that platform just went public. They did what's known as a direct listing. Some people are calling it an IPO, but they just listed to the New York Stock Exchange to make it to where everybody in the public can invest in it. Now, it's like $300. I think it came into the market at $360. I caught it while it dipped down, which is good because, I like to buy low. So I caught it while I was in the 320s, 320 something. I bought it on Cash App, just put some money towards it. The second I put some money towards it, it had gained some cent. But that's just the way the stock market goes. Just as quick as it gains some money, it can lose, and they go up and down. But it may be one you want to do some homework on, because what it does is merge the best of both worlds. The platform that was meant for people to be able to buy cryptocurrency on is now publicly traded. So when you invest in Coinbase, you're investing from a stocks standpoint, but not only that, you're also investing in the future of what cryptocurrency can have using platforms such as Coinbase. So it's a pretty big deal. And, of course, I can't recommend what you should invest in, but it may be one you want to consider grabbing some shares of as time progresses, because over the next 5 years, it can do some amazing things. Don't get caught up on the fact that it costs $300 per share. That's not a big deal. You more so want to understand that the percentage potential of growth that it has can allow you to turn 100 into thousands, thousands into more thousands, or even better. So just consider Coinbase as an investment option, and whether you choose to use Cash App as your investment platform, whether you choose to use Fidelity, Charles Schwab, TD Ameritrade, Webull. I mean, there are tons out there. I love using Webull, so I'll link that down below as well. And also, you'll get some free stocks. But whether you choose to use either of those platforms, have at it. But not all platforms allow you to invest and get partial shares. Some do. I know Charles Schwab is allowing that now, Robinhood, Cash App, obviously, and some other ones are starting to enter into that path because they see that that makes it convenient for the investors. So that being said, hopefully this was helpful. Hopefully this was beneficial. Hopefully it was basic. Hopefully you get over the idea of thinking investment is hard. If they can put it in a cartoon format, then that ought to let you know, look, if I got a couple of dollars and I can invest using as little as $1, I need to be investing. Then you're going to come to realize, wow, yeah, I was buying bits and pieces, but the real money is when you buy more, when you buy in bulk, because you'll see that you wish you had more money working. But take baby steps, move at your own pace of your own level of comfort, and just make it happen in the best way you know how. So that's all I got for this video. Royalty, salute, applaud. If you're not a part of the royalty movement, consider being a part of the royalty movement where we have, tons of training, and we got a 30-day plan of things that you can do in order to increase your cash flow, better your credit, get access to DIY credit, other investment terminology, a network of people all across the nation, the whole 9 yards. Consider it. That link will be available somewhere down below as well. And in my royalty movement fashion, let me conclude. You see, we live in a world where we are conditioned for failure, and oftentimes we have been programmed or fooled into mediocrity. So people find themselves living like peasants instead of the royalty that they were meant to be. But you see here in the royalty movement, we see the king in you. We see the queen in you from start to finish. It's just time to take your seat on the throne. Because this is where we uplift your character, your confidence, and your cash flow. As royalty, you should establish a solid financial foundation that will soon lead to your abundance and thriving empire. Take your seat on the throne. You are royalty. Salute.